Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Stream of Thought, and we are on the quarter century mark at 25. And we start off the conversation with Victor finding a way to entertain us by breaking into his house over the course of the next couple of days.
Broke into my house, splintering and cracking the frame of my door.
Because he locked himself both out of his car and his home.
Yeah.
And that was actually even more amusing than it sounds right off the bat. And then I scare Victor a little bit because I threatened to talk about politics because Hillary Clinton has a new book. But the conversation actually focuses around how the internet can more or less characterize an individual in a certain way for the rest of time, whether it's deserved or let's not.
Agreed. And I didn't get scared to talk about politics. I got scared to talk about
something boring.
I was scared to just be talking about stuff.
Stuff that's boring.
I didn't want to wait 15 minutes for you to come full circle to your little comment like last time.
And then we finished by having a conversation about education and whether or not the education system has failed Victor in his search for truth and meaning in life.
We talk about Adderall.
Yes, that's Victor's favorite part of the conversation about education is drugs.
Rick's pretty much spent his time studying. I spent my time socializing and cramming. And we both received a college degree. So the question is, you get to it in the episode.
So with that being said, episode number 25, Stream of Thought.
We hope you enjoy. I've noticed that about all of mine too, because it's a pain in the ass. Because I wear belts, but they don't do anything because they don't do anything. I run out of holes.
Well, how many pairs of jeans do you own?
I have one pair.
Okay, I don't feel so bad now because I was wondering, am I an anomaly not owning more than 2 or 3?
I mean, I think at one point the most I ever owned was 3 pairs.
I'm so glad to hear that because I felt like I was so out of the norm.
I only have one pair of jeans.
Yeah. But seriously, dude, there can be a lot of distance if you end up gaining or losing weight when the waistband.
I can't figure it out because I feel the same, but I think it's from work, always just walking. But I even did this like a few years ago too, where like I would get jeans and I would think that they would fit, or pants, and I'd think that they'd fit in the fitting room, and then
I'm so happy with them in the moment.
X amount of time later, like they're super loose and even belts can't hold them up. And I have some belts where I took a knife and I kind of whittled it away to make holes in it.
So you have a problem with the hole too? Well, you would, because you have about the same type of for belts, right?
What?
The extra hole, making the extra hole in a belt.
Yeah,
that's what you're referring to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm saying you have about the same size waist as I do. Which means,
I don't know, probably smaller.
I've always had that problem as well, where the belts just don't have enough holes in them.
I have one belt, though, that's like the style. It's just a bunch of crap ton of holes around.
Oh, okay.
So one of them, it's got so much extra leather. I've started actually folding it inward. I'll show you sometime. It's kind of weird to explain. But yeah, it's kind of a pain.
Well, I mean, I have a dress belt hanging up that's still on its hanger thing, and I haven't touched it because I know I have to whittle an extra hole in there.
Dress belts, you're supposed to. I think actually all belts generally, particularly dress belts, it should fit you where you're using the middle hole.
I've never had a belt like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that could be a thing.
That's a general rule.
I've never owned a belt where it's comfortable around my waist where it fits in the middle hole. It's always been
sometimes it fits in the middle, sometimes it fits at the end, sometimes it fits on the opposite side.
It's never fitted in the middle, man. It's always been at the very end. So I always just naturally assumed, well, belts are big, so
yeah.
Wow, I'm an idiot.
So
that is embarrassing.
Last time we were talking about how I have my car back and everything.
Yes.
And it's been, I think last time I said it feels like a brand new car. It's great, and I can hear the ignition is a little bit different too. I don't enjoy driving. I don't know what happened, but I don't like it's an inconvenience to me now. Just having those 10 days of no car. I mean, I used other people's cars for a little bit sometimes. You know, my dad's car. I rode my bicycle most of the time, which is great. But it's just like, yeah, I don't care to be in my car.
So have you made a change then, or are you just sucking it up and
No,
still
I took
driving?
my car to work today because right after work I went straight to the gym, and I'm not driving my bicycle down Roosevelt Road.
Yeah. That's fair.
And I did that, and obviously I drove here because we had to, but as far as every I don't know what other daily activities, you know, train station. Oh, speaking of which, I rode my bike to the train station the other day on Tuesday, and I think it was Tuesday or maybe it was Saturday. I don't know, but I decided to ride my bike. I was like, I'm gonna ride my bike, even though I have my car, and I walk out my house, and right when I walk out my house, and I was getting to be like just on time.
Yeah.
And I ran out of time. Anyway, what happened was this. I walked out my house, and right when I walked out, I was like, oh, do I need my keys? I'm like, no, I don't need my keys. I'm riding my bike.
You're like keychain. What kind of keys do you have on there?
Car keys, like
House keys?
House keys, yeah.
Okay.
Close the door, and I lock it, and then I go to then I realize that my wallet, my Venture card, and my train pass is in my car, and my car is locked.
Oh yeah.
So now I'm locked out of my house. I'm locked out of my car. I start panicking, and I start getting pretty upset. I, for a split moment, debate, like, do I need to break a window? No, I'm not breaking a window. No, don't break a window. Don't break a window. Like, how can I get into this house? So I actually broke into my house. I just kept kicking and pushing and just kicking and pushing and kicking and pushing the back door, and like broke the entire door frame to get into my house.
What?
Because I needed to get my keys. I was panicking because I needed to catch the train.
You broke your door frame?
I needed to catch the train. I was not going to drive I didn't have car keys anyway, but it's not like I waited around or took my time because I didn't want to drive to the city.
Yeah.
I want to take the train. So I bust in my house. I'm like running around all over the place. I'm like swearing. I get my car keys. I get in my car. I have to take my car now. I'm not risking taking my bicycle. Mm-hmm. So I get in my car. Dude, my tires, I did the fastest 3-point turn in my driveway. Because you know how my driveway is set up. If my car's facing the garage, I have to do like a 3-point turn to get out. Otherwise, like I could have to maneuver it a certain way to like go in reverse.
That's a tight 3-way.
Dude, I went so fast out that driveway. Like my tires screeched when I accelerated in my driveway to get out of my house. And dude, I booked it. I was going like 50 miles an hour down like these suburban roads.
Wow.
Instead of going down
Need for Speed Part 2.
Yeah,
Holy
instead
cow.
of going downhill, I went down not Longfellow, but there's this other way to get to the underpass. I flew down that street. I see this little girl riding her bicycle in the middle of the road, and
you better get out of the way.
It's all messed
honey.
up because like there's like someone's building a house, so there's like 2 cars parked on the opposite sides of the road, you know. And I see this girl. I'm like, this girl better get the hell out of my way. Yes. So she like is going back and forth, gets out of my way, fly around the corner, book it down whatever street the underpass is on. Like, then I'm sitting at the underpass for what seemed like an eternity. I'm just like,
like the full 60 seconds.
And of course, the person in front of me is just green light,
finish your
slowly accelerating. Rolling. So then I go to the left, go by where the tennis courts are, fly down that street. There's no traffic where the intersection is. Go around that stupid little roundabout, fly down Crescent, and I see there's like 2 parking spaces on the north side of the tracks.
Yeah.
Whip it around, park in the car, and then the train, I think, ended up being... No, I think the train ended up being like 10 to 12 minutes late or something fucked up like that. Or or maybe 5 minutes. I don't know. All I know is that by the time I got there, the train should have been there. Like I should have made perfect timing. I was still waiting. I don't know, at least 3 minutes. But when you're just like on that
the adrenaline,
it's like it seemed like forever.
You know what? It would have been even funnier
if I missed the train.
If you realized you had your keys with you the whole time.
Oh right, yeah.
Oh man, but you broke your door frame.
Hell yeah.
What's the status on that
it's
now?
Fixed. I fixed it. It was
really
really
okay.
easy.
So it wasn't, you didn't like Incredible Hulk it down or anything.
Yeah, but when I was breaking it and I could slowly hear the wood splintering and cracking, I was like, I'm in so much fucking trouble. But I fixed it. I totally fixed it.
Wow.
Like the very next day.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a harrowing tale, my friend. I have to say, I give you props for the determination to actually get your keys. Because really, I mean, when you're faced with that question, a lot of people, even in the most dire circumstances, are asked, would you break into your own house? And they say, of course not. I would never break into my own house. I'll find another way.
If I wasn't doing anything,
I'll wait till the morning till the locksmith's able to come or something like that.
If I wasn't doing anything, I'd totally wait for someone else to get home or find some...
And here, late for the train.
Normal way to get... Or if my next-door neighbor hadn't passed away from cancer 6 years ago, he would have a spare key to my house. Bob!
Too soon.
No, but yeah, I'm not like our next door neighbors now, like we're not like I don't think anyone in our neighborhood has a spare set of keys.
Oh, really?
No, hell no.
So no one has relationships with one another.
No, we do. It's like not like the type where you loan keys.
Weird.
So since then, I made copies.
Yeah.
Of the keys. I went to Ace Hardware. I go there, dude. So I go there to get a copy of this key. The guy, they do it by hand. Or not by hand, but he has a machine and he traces it. I'm standing there for like 10 minutes being super indecisive about like those 3M hooks. And it's right in front of where they do the keys. So this other woman's getting her key done. Like 10 minutes go by of me trying to figure out what I want.
Yeah.
He's still not finished with the key. In that time, a couple other people were like wondering about their keys. He's still working on the key. I see him. He looks like he's struggling, but there's some determination. He wipes his forehead with the back of his hand type thing. So I'm thinking he kind of like messed up or something. And he's got the two things and he's moving it back and forth and around. She's like, I'm not dealing with this. I am not sitting around waiting. Even if I was next in line, I'm not sitting around waiting 10 or 15 minutes to get my key copied. I just need a machine.
Yeah.
But it was just really funny to see him like sweating. He kind of looked like he like messed something up and he was trying to fix it and he was just kind of going like this and stuff.
Wow.
Anyway,
What store was this?
Ace Hardware.
Okay.
On Roosevelt.
Because I know that Menards on North Avenue has the machine.
They have a key machine, but I wasn't driving my ass all the way up there.
And you can get awesome designs on it,
I saw that, yeah.
I have a Chicago Bears one and a penguin for some reason.
Yeah, mine, in college, we got ours done at Walmart, which is where I got mine. And they're the wacky, you rode the sports one, but they're called wackies. And you can get like a tie-dye or cheetah print or like some weird like colors. Nice. Yeah, so they're called the wackies. I just got totally normal looking keys for my house. So anyway, I decided to make copies of the key and...
Oh, that's right. There's the Cubs one.
Yeah, I haven't made a copy of this one
Menards as well.
But... Yep. So what was your thing?
What was my thing? Well, I mean... Okay, so I think one of the things, because Hillary Clinton's book came out, right?
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. Is this going to be one of those things where I interrupt and make a hard left turn and then you get upset because I had a point?
Maybe.
I just need to be...
I don't know. Okay, you know what? I'm going to fast forward to the point.
Okay.
It blows my mind, it baffles my mind that when you have... There are certain individuals or certain... Yeah, I would say certain people... where there's just a universal online dislike for that person. Because, like, you look at any video that Hillary Clinton is featured in, and the dislike ratio is always higher than the like ratio.
Okay.
On any video that even shows a picture of her. It's just like this visceral reaction the internet has to her. And I don't know, it's just... It just perplexes me so much. Like, how can such a vast number of people just have such a... visceral reaction to someone without actually knowing who they are. It's very peculiar, but I think that
you could say the same thing about Donald Trump. Not defending him, but I'm just to keep it unbiased.
What do you mean?
How many people talk shit about him and don't know him?
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I would say absolutely, but there's justifiable criticism that can be leveled at him that I think.
Oh yeah, well,
totally
if you
blown out of
tell
proportion with Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, obviously, there's we've gone beyond a handful of things that he said that you can point to that justify someone's reason for thinking a certain way, but still you don't know. At the same time, think of how many different things that you've done or that I've done or said where someone could point and be like, this person's a total asshole, this guy's a you know what I'm saying?
Everyone, we're walking assholes.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, like moments of assholeness. And I just, that you can get characterized in such a short period of time that people can make such a lasting impression on who you are. Because, I mean, shit, dude, like, she lost the election and she's still getting massive hate. Like, people are, like, searching her out so they can thumbs down whatever it is she does. It's like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get the negativity. But it seems like...
I was actually... sorry. I'm like...
You're smelling your hair right now. I don't really understand.
I'm smelling the ends of my hair. I took a shower today. I don't know why they smell funky. I don't know why it smells...
It's funky.
I don't know...
I'm not smelling your hair, but...
I don't know why it smells like that. That's weird.
Okay.
I was actually thinking about that before picking you up. I don't know why. Oh, because I found out the other day like that she had written a book about and kind of just put everything out there.
Yep.
And I thought to myself like, wow, I thought the exact same thing, how much people hate on her and don't know her. And what else? I think that was it.
Because, I mean, it doesn't matter, because it's scary to me, because it doesn't matter in that sort of instance. It doesn't matter what she does. I guess Donald Trump's the same way, too. It doesn't matter what he does. But it doesn't matter, in her instance, what she does, people will always dislike her. And it's like, could that happen to any of us, kind of thing?
Yeah.
Like, could you get, when you make your national debut, could you be portrayed for the rest of eternity as a douchebag, even if you're not? Like, there is that danger, right?
Yeah.
There are people who get their 5 minutes of fame, end up being remembered in the public conscience as a negative. And that's how you're remembered by American history.
Yeah.
Like, oh, remember that Victor P. Marquez? What a douchebag. Like, it just would have been better if he was never born. And it's Twitter, so you know that'll be, like, one of the first comments.
Yeah, millions of likes and retweets, so all of a sudden it becomes, like, yeah, just, like, everyone nods their head in agreement.
But isn't that kind of surreal that it's sort of out of your control,
yeah,
the way that people end up portraying you? That you're at the whims of whatever internet tide there is?
Yeah, it does suck. Good thing we're totally anonymous. Next subject. So when I was at the train station, when I was there on last week on Saturday, this was like in the evening, or on Friday, because I don't know what the hell day it was, but I'm going to my instructor's birthday party. So I took the train to Oak Park, and from Oak Park I took an Uber, like, to some part of Chicago. And first of all, I get to the train station, I go across the street to the beer cellar, was completely unaware that it had moved like 2 blocks west from where it actually used to be, back in November. So I'm walking there, I get beer, I'm like running my ass back to the train station. It was just like a 4-pack of like the Daisy Cutter, the tall boys.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there, and I see this guy who I saw early the afternoon, and my first thought is, crap, this guy is either gonna A, ask for money, or B, ask for beer, or both. Of course, first thing he says, hey man, you got any money? No, I don't, because I actually gave you money earlier this afternoon when I already saw you when I was crossing the street. So I was talking to him.
Did you tell him that?
No. Actually, yeah, I did tell him that. Yeah. I was like, no, I don't. I actually gave you change when I saw you at the corner. He's like, oh, okay. Probably didn't remember me. But anyway, I'm sitting there, and I crack open a beer. And I didn't want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to sit there by myself. And he's like, yeah, I'm homeless. I'm like, I can obviously see that. But whatever. I'll talk to him. Yeah. I'll have a conversation with him. You know what I'm saying?
You're so nice.
And so I'm like, shit, I hope he doesn't... And this moment, I do not feel like sharing with anybody. I don't want to share my beer.
Yes.
Don't want to. But I'm talking to him. And then I'm just like, you know what? In any night that you go out, you can always, it's always a good choice. It's never a bad choice to not drink one more beer. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, I'll give him a beer. Because I thought to myself, too, it's like, hey, he's homeless, he's talking to me, like, people probably look down on him, and, you know, you never know when an ice-cold, refreshing beer can lift your spirits. So, I say to him, hey, man, you want a beer? He's like, yeah, sure. So I take it off the thing, and I part of me wants to crack it open and give it to him. I was like, he can crack it open himself. So I give him the beer, and he grabs it, he goes, hey, thanks, man. Just puts it straight in his front pocket of the hoodie he's wearing. I'm thinking to myself, I gave you this beer so you can open it up and drink it with me, not so you can just pocket it later. Like, what the? I got pretty upset.
Yeah.
I got pretty upset.
Yeah.
I almost wanted to I almost wanted to call him out on it. I should have, now that I think about it. Should have totally called him out on it. It's not like it's not like he's gonna keep it cold.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
What are you gonna do with a warm beer?
Drink it. That's what they do.
Gosh.
Yeah, I mean that's just one of those learning experiences, man. That's part of the reason why all the bars end up opening their beers and don't serve it to people, closed, so they don't end up.
That's because it's a law.
Well, that too.
It's already been sold. They've already made money off of it, and so the people can't, because you have to drink it inside their establishment.
But yeah, no, I mean that. I don't know if I would have thought about that.
And you know what the funny thing is? I go to the party, I drink my other beer. I drink one on the so I'm drinking that one on the train. I drink another one, half on the train, half in the Uber. I drink my third one at the party, and I was like, you know what? I want one more beer, which I would have had if that ass clown guy didn't. Whatever. I mean, I still would have been beerless had he drank it.
Yeah.
But it's the principle. Anyway, I drank one more beer at the party, and then I left shortly thereafter. But I was just
it's so interesting because, for me, that would totally not faze me. I'd just be like, of course, kind of thing. But I feel like, yeah, it takes a certain change of perspective to be like, yeah, for that not to upset you, because to be like, oh yeah, of course, that's what they would do, kind of second nature.
What the hell?
Well, it's a different world, man. I mean, a lot of homeless people on the street that you see on a recurring basis are, one, homeless by choice, and two, make a pretty handsome profit.
I was about to say,
collecting donations from people on the street.
I'm sorry. I was looking for. This is my material.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha, okay.
I was looking at.
Okay. Back to Instagram.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. So then on the train ride back, I'm on like the very last train of the night, and I'm so tired. I'm sitting there, and I'm in a car. I'm in a ghost car. Like,
oh, really?
Like, there is nobody on this car except for me. And then, of course, like, these two drunk guys show up. It's like these two guys that are drunk who have no business being drunk, meaning, like, you can tell they drink all the time and they're probably in their 50s or 60s, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, get your shit together. But this is what I hear from one guy. Okay, I'm like, this guy is talking to himself. When you're with Daddy Dog, you get all the cigarettes you want. What? You don't eat and then drink? There might be no return for me. I might be a zombie. No one around here is Mormon. So as he's saying
is he on the phone?
So as he's saying these things, I'm typing this in my phone because I'm looking back and he's not talking to anybody, and then I get up and I think to myself, he might be on the phone.
Yeah.
But still, even if he was on the phone, it is very humorous
I would love to hear the
catch
logic of
his side of the dialogue. When you're with Daddy Dog, you get all the cigarettes you want. Who's Daddy Dog? And what life's... well, apparently you're a smoker if you're talking about getting all the cigarettes you want. What? You don't eat and then drink? Like, there might be no return for me. I might be a zombie. What? No one around here is Mormon. I was just like, that was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, that's super random.
Next stop, Glen Ellen. Yep, getting up, waiting in the middle of the car.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if it was at night, right?
Yeah,
it's just like
1:30 in the morning or something like that.
Oh, okay. So last train out.
Yeah, well, the last team leaves Ogilvy at 12:40, so this probably was like at 1 or 1:15 or something like that. I mean, I got home at 1:30, so this is shortly before that.
Okay, yeah. But so I don't know if you necessarily would be able to relate to this, but so I had mentioned before on the ride over that I'm in kind of a funk, and I think part of it is I've been feeling, obviously, this sense of, I don't know, like helplessness over circumstances or whatever. And so I'm like, okay, well, what's a simple way to try and resolve that? And so I just literally started trying to annotate my day and just keep track of what it is I'm doing throughout the course of my day. And simultaneously, I also started up a to-do list as well, and be like, okay, like of all the things that I do, and what I'm planning to do, I just started it this week. What I'm planning to do at the end of the week is look over it, be like, okay, on my to-do list, how much of those things were I able to check off, and how was I spending my time during the day?
Yeah.
But I'm also keeping track of like certain vices that I, partake in as well, and just trying to be more intentional about the way that I'm going about my day-to-day basis. Okay. So I don't know if that's something that you can even relate to.
It's very funny that you say that, because the other day I left the stove on. I was making pancakes, and we have like this griddle that fits across two of the burners. Yeah. And I was making pancakes, and I left them on because I took the pancakes off, but then I didn't see the flame, so I didn't think to turn it off, right? Oh, yeah. And I don't know why also, but like I do this, I've noticed this about myself where, and I can't exactly put a timestamp as to when it began, but like I also like when I have stuff in the oven, completely forget to turn the oven off after I take the stuff out.
Oh,
that happens to me all the time. But then also, like I leave, like I'll take stuff out of the refrigerator and I'll completely forget to put it back, like milk and juice and cheese. I mean, it'll only be out for maybe 15 or 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Very rarely.
Until you walk by again.
When I walk by, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. I left this out. Very rarely is it out for an amount of time that it would have to be thrown away. Yeah. That happened like one time.
Very rarely.
You know? That happened like one time.
Okay.
Because generally you can leave out like milk or eggs for 30 minutes or so before it starts. Before you want to definitely
only
put
30
it
minutes?
Yeah, I mean, well, probably longer than that. At Aldi, they do. That's like the general times, the general rule.
I didn't know that. Huh.
But anyway, my mom with the burners, my mom was like, Victor, you forgot to turn this off. And I was like, it's not like my sister's the one who always catches me leaving the oven on. And that was like the first time that happened, that my mom witnessed this. And she was like, do you have ADD or something? Like the adult ADD? So she's like, she kind of knows what she wants to talk. Like she kind of knows what she's talking about, but kind of not. I was like, do you have that adult ADD or something? I was like, no, Mom. Twitter. Yeah, it's called Twitter. I was like, no, Mom. The adult ADD or ADD, whatever the hell it is when you just can't focus on anything. I just forgot to leave. You know, this is closer to being on track to dementia than having, ADD.
Oh my goodness.
But then it got me thinking, going around back full circle to what you were talking about. Yeah. I am so easily distracted about everything. So like I'll go on the internet with the purpose like to write an email, and I will then all of a sudden be like, I'm going to Google oligarchy. And I Google that, and then I look at the different forms of government, and then I look up like some other stupid shit. And then
It's just a rabbit hole.
just like, yes, completely random ass things, just like firing, one thing after another. 45 minutes go by. Okay, done. And then like 10 minutes later, oh yeah, I was supposed to write that email. So
yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of people sort of get distracted in that way. That's not but you're able to retain that information. I think that's what's impressive to me, is that you actually remember a lot of the stuff that you end up sidetracking on. Whereas me, if I'm browsing the web, I'm not really retaining any information, any details or stuff, right? Because you can actually remember particulars about things. You're very good.
Like when I read about them?
You're very good with details, yeah. Or just...
I don't know. It depends on what
factual
I'm looking at.
information.
It's just stupid shit. Like
Your
then I'll
recall.
then I'll like Google Chicago Bulls, and then I'll see like when was it that they moved from, I think it was called Chicago Center, Chicago Stadium to just
see random stuff like that.
Stupid crap that has no impact on my life and is just a complete waste of time of learning.
Mm-hmm.
You know? How many seasons of Speed Racer were on in the 60s before? Like, stupid crap.
Yeah.
Stupid crap.
Well, I think that's part of it, too, for me, is trying to reduce that wasted time, right? I mean, how much of the stuff that I'm actually engaged with is directly impacting my life?
Yeah.
And try and reorient that to focus on things that are within my immediate control. I feel like... yeah, it's kind of... It's weird to be reflective, because, like, at the end of the day, I'll look back and be like, man, I can't believe, however many hours passed through the day, and here's what I did for the day. It's just like, that is not necessarily how I envisioned it would start out.
I know.
And how it ended is what
it's funny because all the things I want to do, I could get done, but it would just be like... it would be like a 15-hour school day for me, like changing from gears from one thing to the next, and different things I want to do. It'd be like zero downtime. It would just be like, it'd be very it'd be structured. It'd be what I need.
yeah But creative energy too, because a lot of what I end up doing in my free time requires a lot of creative energy, and so that makes it hard to keep up that momentum, because especially when you're changing gears, it's like, okay, well, you got to get creative in a whole different way, and your brain's just like,
well, maybe if you do stuff like do certain things on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and other things on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, that way you can devote like 2 hours to one thing instead of like trying to break it up into each thing gets 1 hour.
And I think what my general plan is to assess for a week or two just what my daily schedule is like, and how I'm using my time, and if I could be using it better, and try and make those changes where I notice consistencies or like themes in my routine.
Right.
Because I mean, it's interesting already. I mean, I'm able to get a good sense of certain quirks in my schedule that kind of line up even the past 3 days.
Yeah.
That I hadn't recognized before. So you kind of learn a little bit about yourself in the process. But continuing that, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, going back, then I was like, well, maybe I can get some Adderall and hyper focus on things that I want to get done.
Did you ever take Adderall?
Oh, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I never.
Not like habitually, but definitely.
But you know what the experience is like. Yeah,
it's awesome. It's just like
anything
you want to get done, you just get it done with the utmost thoroughness and just clarity and focus. And
that seems so surreal to me. I've never had. I don't know I can't fathom what that would be like.
Turn into a machine and just crank out your homework and stuff, and just like learn. It's
like a robot.
Yes, dude. Really, like a robot. Yeah.
Huh. Was that like a finals thing, or was that just?
Oh hell yeah! Everybody was on.
Really?
I mean, I don't know about.
No, but it was not uncommon, is what you're saying.
Correct.
For somebody to be like, oh yeah, I took some Adderall. And
it was very. I mean, we spoke about it very openly. Like, yeah, we would. I would go with sometimes to the library with my fraternity brothers, a few of them, and we'd each sit at a table working on our own thing, and we'd each like have half or a whole pill of the Adderall, and just be at the library for like 8 hours just cranking shit out.
Can I be totally honest and say that in college, it was the only people that I knew who took Adderall were the dumb people.
Really?
Yeah, like the subpar academics. No one who was in the top 15%.
It's because the people who took Adderall had social lives.
You mean they had to cram before the exam and they weren't learning throughout the whole semester the way that it's set up to be?
It doesn't matter, because if you can work the system a different way, I understand that.
No, that's not how it's supposed to work. If you're incorporating the information that you need over the course of the semester and genuinely engaging with it, like spending the necessary hours, the 5 to 10 hours per class each week that you need to be spending on it, then by the time this final exam rolls around, you just got to do your average studying for a test, and
if you can cram and pass and do just as well as other students, then the way that it's designed is flawed.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree, because the whole point is not to try and cram the information so that you can get a passing grade, because that makes the grade the final result. The grade
That's what they've made it to be, is grades. It's all about grades and not the experience of learning.
Yeah. See, and that's never been my approach. And maybe it's been the people that I've hung around with, but for me, it's never been the grades were the end result. It was the journey along the way. And maybe that's because I had such a fun time on the journey.
If the journey along the way results in a C, then that journey was wasted time.
Yeah, it's a pretty shitty journey if you're going to get a C at the end. But I'm saying a good journey, like Lord of the Rings Hobbit-style journey. If you engage with the subject, doors to your world could have been opened.
Yeah, dude, you do that on Adderall.
Oh, my God.
I'm just kidding.
Yes, and then when you come down from your high, you return to your mundane life.
I'll say I enjoyed the journey for all my history classes. All the other classes, I was just like, oh my gosh, statistics? I don't give a fuck about that. Are you kidding me? Like, just get me the passing grade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, math was never.
Math, get me the passing grade.
However, I will say, again, it's the failure of the education system, because in reality, math is super important. I would love to be more informed about how math is impacting my daily life. I mean, I might be a more coordinated person if I knew math better. Like angles and trajectories, and like, what is my velocity when I fall and hit the ground?
Yeah, I totally agree, but that's not the world we live in. It's all about the grades.
You can buck the system, though. Or find the teachers.
Speaking of which,
my
buddy got a .25 GPA one semester.
.25.
Yep. So less than 1.0.
The only person that I knew to get that low of a GPA dropped out like 3 weeks in and was enrolled for the rest of the semester.
I'm not finished yet though, dude.
Okay.
He was there for a 5th year, and he took a bunch of like weird ass online courses and graduated. But dude, and I remember hearing this story senior year, and it made so much sense. This guy had no more than a 3rd or 4th grade reading level. Okay? Hang on.
Okay.
Or maybe not reading, but writing, I should say. Or both. I don't know. But all I know is that we'd get house emails, or like he'd ask me to proofread something, and I totally would. But it is just like, how did you get to this point with this lack of knowledge in reading and writing?
Yeah.
I'm talking about
how do you get to college?
I'm talking about everything. How words are spelled, where you place the period. I'm talking about like capital letters. Like, I'm talking about very basic I'm not talking about like colons and hyphens and the more intricate stuff and run-ons. I'm talking about like your most basic rules, literary rules in constructing sentences, in writing, and
that's horrifying, dude.
And I was just like, what the hell? And we all knew, like, we all kind of made fun of him, like, lightheartedly.
He wasn't special needs, was he?
No. But here's the kicker. Senior year, I'm sitting down, and he tells this story. Like, yeah, dude, when I was in when I was in kindergarten or first grade or whatever it was, I had really bad handwriting. So they gave me a laptop to write my things on. You know, and they would give it to me too during my spelling tests. And he goes, yeah. But what they didn't know is that they had that I had spell check on the on the computer. And then he made some comment like, he's like, yeah, well, they didn't know it. They would like auto-corrected or it had some spell check. He's like, yeah, dumbasses. Or something weird like that. And me and my buddy just start laughing so hard because it just explained so much. It explained so much, and all of a sudden, like, there was, I don't know how to describe, that was such an insane moment when we sat there just laughing and because he didn't realize why we were laughing so hard.
Yeah, it's that moment of revelation.
He thought, yes, yeah, exactly, revelation. He thought it was funny, like, oh, that's a funny story. But we were laughing because it was just like, wow.
Yeah, the question of how this individual
it was
made it to this point in life.
almost too much for my brain to handle.
Yeah.
It was almost too much for my brain to handle.
But you think about it, dude. Like, I mean, he's laughing like dumbasses, but he can't write an email. Like,
yeah. And it's, I don't want to, like, it's not.
Yeah, no, I mean,
not necessarily
like,
his fault.
No, but that's a good representation, though, I think, for, see, that you just made my point for me.
And it's like, and it's like, well, if this guy got a degree from this university, okay, I guess mine doesn't really mean so much.
Yeah. See, but that's my point, though, is the moral of the story that you just mentioned is that a lot of people laugh at the educational experience and are still laughing to this day, not realizing what they've lost in the process. It can be as simple as not knowing how to write a complete sentence to as much as like not knowing how to critically think about the world or your relationships with other people.
I should say this too, because I'm in agreement with what you said earlier when we were talking about how the journey and all that, and this might help you understand what I was saying. Like, dude, I don't care about the journey; I care about the grade. Like, that's all, because the classroom will set the tone.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if you're in a classroom where it's the teacher chooses to make it engaging and like, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And it's a conversation, then the students will naturally not have to try as hard because they're practicing this every day and it'll be more natural for them, as opposed to, okay, this is the subject and the teacher's just talking at you and you're just sitting there and just taking notes and there's just constant talking at you. And then you have to go on your own and try and figure shit out or retain things, then that becomes a lot more difficult. Because I had classes where it was obviously both, and the ones where it's conversational and it's just like, oh, this is so much more relaxing and so much more fun, too.
So how much of the responsibility then would you place on the teacher themselves? And how much of it would you say is out of Victor Marquez's childlike hands?
Well, I would say you're responsible for yourself no matter what the style of the teacher is. You know what I'm saying? It's
even at that age?
What are you talking about? When you're like 20?
No. You're talking about college. I'm talking about through.
Yeah,
like,
I was talking about college.
Oh, just college. Okay, I was talking about the whole education process.
I was talking about Adderall. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Then in that case. So
I was really confused. You're 18,
you're not child-sized hands anymore. Well, kind of still child-sized hands. Just kidding. Okay, so, but at that age, yes, the responsibility, but it's kind of too late at that age, really. Like, you either enjoy learning or you don't enjoy learning.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, when you get to freshman year, you kind of get into that, like, because you transition from the high school learning experience to the college learning experience, which is pretty significantly different because of the freedom that we're given. And at that point, high school has either taught us, okay, you can learn to like education, or education is boring and bad, and you approach it.
Well, there would definitely be kids that you'd come across in college and think to myself, like, wait, what are you doing? You're enrolled in college? I would, solely based on the vibe that I'm getting from you and your and just everything I'm getting, the physicality, the way you talk, all these other things. I'm surprised that you haven't dropped out yet or failed out of school. How is it that you're still here?
Yeah.
You know, your just complete disregard and lack of care for your own well-being.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
see, I think
as
that
it reflects
on your
on
experiences.
what?
Nothing.
I mean, these are people mostly I bought weed from, but
well, I feel like that's also
or like
that,
my
that
guy
also should have put
or people who I would
point
buy
of
weed from who
revolution.
they bought the weed from.
Yeah, but really, man, I mean, and that's the thing is that for me, dude, it's all about education. It's all about the educational experience. Is that like you should have that camaraderie. I'm thinking all the way back to when you were telling me about your high school experiences, walking into certain classes. What was it, like math class or something like that?
Oh, it was.
And you're just like social studies,
econ regular,
yeah. So it should be a combination of loving the environment or loving the people, but also loving the environment, the school environment.
Yeah.
Learning should have that incorporation of fun. Is like, I mean, learning should be a positively reinforced thing. Because when you get to college, dude, it's too late. You're not going to redefine, you either have that natural curiosity about you by the time you're 18 or you don't. And if you don't, you focus on partying and enjoying life day at a time, kind of as life gives it to you, exploring the more exotic things of the world. But, it's the gathering of that I don't know, man. That's just... It really gets under my skin that people waste such valuable opportunities to expand their world.
Yeah.
Realize how interconnected everything is. I think that's the biggest thing that I learned.
Yes.
Everything.
Interconnectedness.
Everything is interconnected. And it's not just human relationships. It's any subject matter. You can find a connection with one another. But to be able to engage with that just in your daily life, to have that natural curiosity.
I agree, 100%.
You're... I can tell you're drifting.
I'm shedding right now. I'm running my fingers through my hair, getting out all that.
Wow.
Running my fingers through my hair and getting out all like the loose hairs that kind of...
I just realized that I've been like twirling the screw the entire time.
Yeah.
I haven't even noticed.
All right. Well, I think that concludes everything. What was that quote? I think it's Nelson Mandela. Oh, yeah. Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I should know that.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Amen, brother.